What are secrets among your profession that the general public is unaware of? I've been a waiter for a long time and the general public has no idea how many times I've seen my co-workers come in drunk as hell but still make it through a shift and have no one notice. There's also at least a 60% chance that your bartender has snorted coke in the last 8 hours. Yeah, honestly this. I work at a huge resort and I serve drinks and occasionally do food waitressing. My co-workers regularly smoke weed and drink at work. Come in trashed. Get called into work during mushroom trips. etc. My manager went to pick up one of the bartenders one day, lives like 3 miles from work, and saw another one of the bartenders run out of the woods in his underwear totally trashed. He actually didn't make the guy work that day. Bless him. But yeah. Weed. Alcohol. Coke. And sometimes psychedelics are a regular occurrence. Sometimes students are given a better grade than they should because we are too tired to really give a shit anymore. Sometimes they are given a worse grade because of this. But those teachers suck. My wife is a teacher. A couple of times a year when she is absolutely buried in work I will take a stack of essays and grade them for her. I sit down with an ink pen, 6-pack of beer, and get to work. I'm throwing out A's like Oprah giving away cars. It's a good time. Those punkers little itches better appreciate it. We are being timed at the drive-thru. Please be considerate for the other customers. I feel I'm trapped in a corner when a customer does not know what they want and forces me to remake their drink several times while there is a line in the drive-thru. Work at a Starbucks. Had a lady make me remake her drink 3 times because no. I wanted this drink. No. I want it iced. No. I wanted the blended iced. Yup. That's the place I'm taking about. Then the customer says, but they make it this way at the other Starbucks. Then go there. Airline pilot here. You know those blankets that we give you on the flight? The airline never washes them. Ever. We just shake them out and shrink wrap them for a later flight. Every once in a while we toss one that's unusable. That is an absolutely horrifying thought, but it doesn't really surprise me. Those things can't be free. I am a lawyer. Yes. We know our adversary. Yes. We will be chummy and joke around with him/her before the judge walks in. Yes. I'm still advocating for you against my adversary. Barristers, UK trial lawyers, may know each other and may even work at the same chambers, offices where groups of self-employed barristers work. But they never greet each other with a handshake in around court. So that their clients don't think there is any funny business going on. That some public defenders do a really great job and some private defense attorneys a really poor one. That what you pay for and what you get in legal representation often has no connection. Recruiter here: some companies don't want to hire old people. With you except for some. Age discrimination is rampant and begins way younger than people think. 30s is old. Even with relevant experience, WTF? Not true. 28-32 is most sought after age range. Older and they think people can't be flexible enough. Younger and they lack general experience. Combat medic. Not so much a secret, but a key to being a lazy piece of shit in a generally high stress job is to teach the boots to do your job for you. Essentially making everyone a medic in all but the most advanced stuff so they still have reason to keep you around. I can't see that as being anything but good for everyone you're looking after though. In a situation with multiple injuries, the more hand-giving first aid until you get to them, the better. Former ballet dancer. Here. It's a total shit job. At least in the USA. Only large, internationally renowned companies pay well enough to live off of. Everyone else gets paid like $20k a year. And some are even worse and only pay per performance. You need to either be supported by your parents, spouse, or work a side job, or 2. You only have a contract for 1 season, usually August, May or so. And there is no guarantee that there will be a spot for you in the company the next year. If you get injured or get fat, you're probably going to get fired. I work in technical support. The vast majority of the time I know the fix immediately and it's something I deal with a dozen times a day. If I say I need to put you on a quick hold whilst I research that, it means I'm googling the answer to your problem. If I say I need to put you on hold for a few minutes, it means I'm asking a coworker if they know what the answer is. If I say I need to call you back because I have to research more, it means none of us has any ducking idea what the issue is and I'll actually have to do some real work. Also, stop blurting out your passwords to me. I don't need to know what it is. Nobody does. If I need to log into your account, I'll just ask you to type it when I remote into your machine. If you can't get in, I'll reset it to something else and we'll deal with the password change later. Coast Guard, please. For the love of God. Stop doing stupid things in bad weather. I pay your salary and I'm damn well gonna use your services. People sometimes die in hotel rooms. As soon as the body is out, we clean the room and put it back out for rent. Doesn't happen often. But there's a chance your bed had a dead person in it less than 2 hours before you checked in. I work at a pizza place. The more items you get on your pizza, the fewer of each item you will get while still being charged the same price per item. Used to make pizza. Can confirm. It's not for malicious reasons though. It's because if you actually load on everything, the pizza wouldn't cook right. Especially with veggies. It would turn to soup. I am a young female in an assisted living home. Men may become wheelchair bound, unable to speak or hear, but there is always one body part that still works. I'm a Zamboni operator and most people don't know that we use hot water when shaving the ice. How many horsepower are those bad boys? And what's their top speed on asphalt? Depends on the model. There are a lot of them, and they shouldn't be driven on asphalt. Top speed on the ice is about 8 miles per hour if you're in a hurry. Software engineer. Literally everything is hanging by a thread and it's amazing the internet hasn't fallen apart completely. Call center technical support. The surveys you're sometimes asked to fill out are kinda bullshit in that anything below 100% counts as a fail. Some are slightly more forgiving, but usually not by a whole lot. So people who give you anything less than a perfect score for petty reasons like everyone can improve or I don't like the hold music are actively hurting you and might in the long run cost you your job. Vehicle assembly. Whatever you're driving contains a lot more zip ties than you would expect. Especially if it's a lorry. I drove for Uber a dozen times and realized that I hated it. In part because the drivers aren't allowed to ask for ratings, but that company doesn't explain to riders that anything below 4.7 out of 5 overall gets the driver put on probation and fired. Former nuclear engineer. It's actually pretty slow and boring. Good job. Fast and exciting is the last thing I want to see when dealing with nuclear reactors. Nuclear powered reactors are in itself fast and exciting. All of our accidents, including the least deadly US-based accident of SL-1 reactor, all occurred based on some compilation of variants of routine evolutions, but not having the wherewithal to respond to the quickness of reactors. If you see rabbits or chickens at a zoo, they're food. Largest secret of my profession are how completely understaffed the 911 communications center is. Most of the time when you call 911, that person is also doing 3 other things at the same time. They are normally doing the job of 2 other people, and probably trying to get in a slightly warm meal also. 911 dispatchers don't care what you took to get high. Just tell us so we can help you. We do care about how you sustained that trauma injury though. Not only to help treat you but to keep the responding units safe. Most large cities are now switching to a system to evaluate the patient over the phone so we don't send an ambulance and a fire truck to every single call. So facts are important when calling. Multitasking calls must get confusing. Operator, sir. Keep giving chest compressions caller. It's not working. He's still robbing my house. Even if it's a nice vet clinic. Sometimes doggy daycare is just putting your dog in a very small kennel with a bowl of water. My friend sends her dog to place that during the day, puts them in a field to play in, and has webcam set up you can watch while you're away. We don't really check if we have any more in the bag. We just go back there so we can chill for like 5 minutes. I used to work at Walmart. And this is kinda true. Usually the only stuff we have in the back is stuff we have a ton of extras of. That is, stuff that is already well stocked on the floor. And even if there was something that was in the back but not on the floor, 99% of the time there's no way to get to it. It's blocked by other pallets. Reality TV is anything but. Ever seen House Hunters on HGTV? The couple looking for a house actually already bought and live in one of the houses that they're looking at. The other houses are usually friends' houses. Or houses that have sold but not closed or moved in yet. Absolutely. A very popular ghost hunting TV show. I can't name for contractual reasons. Does something similar. All the ghosts are generally contacted and coached via Ouija board before they're ever on screen. NASA engineer here, y'all don't know anything. I grew up in a community full of NASA engineers. My father is one. There is also a decent sized military base in my hometown that does a lot of work with missiles. Many of the kids that I went to school with growing up had trouble answering the "what do your parents do for a living?" question. With so many NASA scientists and engineers combined with the Army missile base, there were many parents who had high security clearances and couldn't discuss what they did in their profession. I work in retail. Yeah, we may seem like we are best friends with every employee, but nope, it's like an episode of Gossip Girl every time I go to work. I always think before I enter what drama will I hear today? And who do I have to be fake nice to? Edit. I sound like most do, but wow, I didn't expect this to get a lot of votes. I hope I'm not breaking this to you. But that doesn't end at retail. Literally everywhere. I work at a public library. At least where I work. We don't keep any record of what items you've checked out or look up, so that there's nothing to turn over to law enforcement. We also won't turn over any personal contact information to law enforcement without a warrant. And even then, we make them go through our red department, and they are known to make a big production out of everything. Easily wasting everyone's time. You are safe at a public library. Ask about anything without fear. I'm not sure if this is a super secret. But there seems to be this idea that libraries are secretly tracking and judging, and that's just not true. If I can help an old man find YouTube videos of black women shaving their legs, I am pretty sure I can help you find your Amish romances without judgment. Janice. Most of the time booking through a third party isn't saving you any money and can actually duck you over if there's a problem with your room during your hotel stay. Grocery retailer. If your card is declined at my register, it's not going to undecline at the next register. I hope to God that truly isn't a secret. We offer to carry your bags to your car so you won't leave your cart in the parking lot. We eat and take home your returns. Full stop. Card declined because of faulty reader. Weirded or bank error? Sure. Good chance that the next register might work. Card declined due to insufficient funds? No amount of trying again is going to fix that. I work as a lab tech in a private environmental lab company. We mainly get samples from the government and a couple of other private companies. The instruments that we use to test for contaminants in the samples we received are ducking ancient. There's some stuff that's 20 plus years old that we are currently using to test on your drinking water and your soil. When those instruments start ducking up on us, we either Mickey Mouse the issue or we have our old in-house mechanic of all things guy find a better, more reliable way to Mickey Mouse the problem. Also, we have Jimmy-rigged fume hoods that don't really work as well. Literally the lab is just falling apart just like the instruments. Also, our software and hardware is old AF. Like we're talking about Windows 98. We're still using floppy disks to handle all your results of your samples. Old. We even have the fat desktop computer monitors as well. High school teacher. Sometimes. On really tiring and long days during lecture, we sometimes lose our place or forget the right words. But we know there's a smart kid out there who does know. Instead of embarrassingly scrambling for notes, high schoolers smell fear and will pounce on you if you show it. We'll say some bullshit like, "And so when we take this factor we what? Anybody know?" Yes. Megan. What's the answer? It may look like we're prodding students to pay attention and reinforce learning, which is a tactic often used. But a good portion may be that we just had a brain fart or downright forgot to need help without losing attention. P.S. Before anyone jumps on it, yes. Teachers are human and we act so with our students. It's not a matter of academic arrogance and being wrong in front of them. That happens and it's okay. This is an example of days where patience is thin and student comment is not needed. I Google tons of things. I can't possibly remember how to do every feature of every application. Word, Excel, Visio, Win 7, 8, 10, our EMR, 25 other online applications, Firefox, Chrome, IE, Outlook, our etc. I do it support. A lot of restaurants I've worked at in the past have different cup straw combinations to represent different drinks. That is, clear cup red straw is Coke, but red cup red straw is cherry Coke. They also do this for appetizers or anything that looks similar, like using different wax paper or different colored toothpicks. That way it looks like the waiters always remember what you ordered and food won't get mixed up. When you ask me to make your clip art look less blocky, I don't do anything with what you gave me. I just use my superior googling skills to find a better version. Edit, granted. Most people on Reddit are the type of people who would probably realize that on their own. In a restaurant, whenever you ask your server to double check with the chef, even after we've told you that something can't be exchanged swap changed as it's the middle of the service and we're full, we might go into the kitchen, but most don't ask the chef. A lot of the time, the answer's a flat no followed by a lot of swearing from the chef due to stress. Still in grad school, becoming an ecologist conservationist, but have worked in a wildlife rehab center. We are all major animal lovers, but our job sometimes consists of killing animals. Sometimes a lot of them. That waiver you are signing practicing any leisure is useless. The company is responsible for your safety. However, there is a clause called risks inherent to the practice of activities, which means you cannot sue for a fracture playing hockey, but can definitely sue in case of equipment or human failure. Cocktails are super easy to make. No experience at all is necessary if you just want to make them at home for guests. Most of them are just the ingredients thrown into a shaker and shaken over ice. And the shaker can be 2 cups jammed together. The ice forces the ingredients together. Plus, most cocktails you'll end up drinking are the same few alcohols, paired with a non-alcoholic ingredient and usually a slightly more uncommon alcohol. Note the slightly. What you're really paying for when you buy a cocktail is an attractive person, or sometimes non-attractive. Hi, to make it for you. Present and garnish it so it's Instagrammable, and usually to not have to buy an entire bottle of a more obscure liquor. Plus to do it really fast. I blame bloggers for this. They keep trying to spruce up recipes and make them more complicated than they need to be. It kinda blows my mind when friends want to have a cocktail night or something but don't want to spend money going to bars for the price that they'd all spend on the cocktails. They could buy enough bottles of grog to make dozens of them. My parents used to be serial offenders of this. They'd go out to try the cocktails, but not realize that their alcohol cabinet had all the stuff they needed to make a super decent one of whatever they wanted. When you call the IT support hotline, 50% of the time we're just googling the issue that you're experiencing. I'm a line cook at a very nice restaurant. We are all drug doing. Covered. Alcoholics. Well, not all but most. I've met so many people who are shocked when I tell them where I work based on my looks. I deliver pizza, and once I took a piss in the bush outside the apartments at night before taking the pizza to the door. Don't trust the delivery boy. Right. Next time I get some pizza from under a bush out the front of an apartment block, I'm going to wash it first. I work at a health food store. Half the time I do not know what the hell kind of herb you are talking about or if it is gonna cure your crazy ass ailment. I don't want to show you where the homeopathic medicine is because I think it's bullet. Bottom line is eat better. Exercise and see a doctor if you are really sick. There are some basic remedies and fun things to play witch doctor with, but go to the hospital if you feel like you're dying. And most of the time I'll tell you what's bullshit unless you're rude or ridiculously stubborn. Probably too late. But I work for a political party at the state level. If you have ever donated any amount of money to a political candidate or organization, the party knows and records everything about you that they can get their grubby little hands on. There are full-time employees and interns that spend hours and hours every day doing extensive donor research. Teachers never grade all the work. Counselor. We aren't rent-a-friends. Dude. As a psychotherapist. We totally are. It's just one-sided and with a little more education. Third-party booking sites for hotels save you no money. Might even cost more. They're all generally owned by Expedia too. Even though they are different names. I used to work in collections. If you're late for a bill, don't worry until the letters stop coming from the company you owe money to. Also, tell them first and always be nice. There's always a way round it. We don't want to send things further unless you're a total brick who calls up and yells at us because they can't pay their bill. Behind every biomedical advance is a mountain of small, furry animal carcasses. When I worked in retail, customers always seemed to be under the impression that no matter your role within a retail business, whether it be on the checkouts or stock control, a lot of people tend to believe that if you work in a supermarket, you should know every single bit of information when it comes to nutritional value about every single item. Used to do my head in. Security officer here. If I think you're stealing shit, all you have to do is run and you're in the clear since we're not allowed to detain or chase people depending on the location. All I can do is write down details of your appearance and then hand the details over to police and let them hunt you down. I honestly hope I never have to deal with someone who tries to steal and then when they get caught try to play the victim. I work at the local fast food hamburger place, and whenever we run out of hamburgers we just run over to the McDonald's and just start serving everybody McDonald's. We put a new wrapper on it and nobody can tell the difference.